Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Punk Rock Radar, your number one place for punk rocks and radars. So, big radar guys, antique radars, all about it. But as I said, we're reacting to our Discord's top 10. We thought we were going to be able to do multiple of these in one episode. We are just a bunch of yappers, so it's impossible for us to even get that done. So today we're reacting to Connors707. His top 10 records. We're going to give our opinion on it. We're going to roast him a little bit. We're going to praise him, hopefully, some. So, and we'll give an arbitrary score at the end of what we think his top 10 is. So this one,
top 10 2010s.
Yes. So this is specifically his top 10 records of the 2010s. So keep that in mind as we go through this. So you're not thinking, where are all these classics? So we've got.
He's smart. He's smart. That's a great way to get around. Including mediocre 80s albums and getting crucified for including or not including them.
Yeah, where is Fresh Fruit, John? All right.
It's smart.
Let's go to the first one here and see what Connors.
Dylan's favorite.
Oh my god!
So we're back once again, baby. We've talked about this with the last one. Purplish Rain had After the Party, and now we have my favorite Menzingers record,
The Saggy Titty album.
This is my favorite Menzingers record. I think it's a phenomenal record. I think Good Things is great. Obituaries is an all-time song. If you haven't heard Obituaries, listen to it. It's a great song. Now, either everyone else here is either lukewarm or hates the Menzingers, so I'm just gonna let you know that, Connors. So, what do you guys think of this beat in the top 10?
We should do a reaction to. I mean, I've only listened to a handful of Menzingers songs. I didn't like them. So, like, I've never delved into a full album of it. I mean,
yeah. This is the best album, so I would say this one we'd check out. This is also probably the one you'd like the most, I would say. Maybe their older stuff you'd like a little better. But Dylan hates the Menzingers. He hates their name.
No, these guys are like a movie that everyone tells you is great, and they gaslight you into thinking it's a good fucking movie, and then you watch it, and it's complete fucking dog shit. 3 hours down the drain.
That's a great way. This is the Avengers of punk albums, I think.
This is not the Avengers of punk albums.
Fuck this band.
That's crazy. That's weird. That's not the album. That's not the movie everyone says is amazing to go see. Like,
all the Marvel movies suck, I think.
They're not very good. But this is more like Godfather 2, and Dylan hates that movie.
Yeah, the Menzingers are a Marvel movie of punk rock. That's
the worst comparison I've heard in my life.
I don't even know what shitty thing I could say about them to really pile it on now. I'm not a Menzingers fan in particular. I've like John never really did a deep dive. What I'd heard didn't want to keep me listening. Yep. So I'm going to assume that this album should not be in the top 10 and Connor should feel bad. So we should move on to the next album.
You guys need to go on a walk sometime. I'll tell you that. This is good going on a walk music. All right, really get
it's 100 degrees outside, brother. I am not doing that.
Right to the fall.
That's how
Menzingers are a fall and winter band.
Rock.
Yeah, listen to the Menzingers. Well, you can listen to After the Party during the summer. I think a little more.
Speaking of the devil,
there we go. We have 2 Menzinger albums in the top 10.
Connor, you're done. You're done, Connor. Get the fuck out.
All right, let's go to number 8.
Hey.
You say something positive about it.
Yeah.
Elliot,
let me say something positive about it. The second best Menzingers album, in my opinion.
Way better album cover. I think they're both.
Yeah.
But this album cover is better. I'll say that.
Yeah, I love the Menzingers, by the way. I think it's a great choice. They're one of my favorite bands. Don't let these guys bring you down, Connors.
Why do you like them? Because they're like the hipsters. They feel like they're the hipsters of punk rock. Like, I don't know. That's what it feels like to me.
No, it's the writing. It's the lyrics, dude. I think they're really good. I think they do great storytelling, and they paint these really cool, kind of like Midwest pictures and stuff. Listen to Your Wild Years. Listen to the lyrics on that. I think you'll like it.
So why did he put this album higher than the other one when you said the other one's the best one? So
I don't think this is in no particular order. I think he didn't say it was in order.
I think you have to put on a beanie and AirPods to listen to this. That's the only way to listen to the Menzingers.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe you drive a hybrid vehicle. Maybe
I do as well. No, I don't.
All right, let's not shit on these too much. The Menzingers, the same shit. So
this is the Bronx 4, the band The Bronx, and this is their fourth record. Yeah, so I've actually never listened to this.
Me
I'm gonna
neither.
be real. This is the only one I've never listened to, but I've listened to the Bronx one, and that is a fucking killer album.
Yeah,
Like,
the first Bronx album rips with White
it's
Tar,
so good.
Heart Attack American.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good, dude. So I would say if this is similar to the Bronx one, I'm down with it. I've never listened to this one, to be particular honest. Has Dylan, have you listened to it or the Bronx?
Go. I'll be last. I'm listening to it now. I have not.
Okay.
The Bronx, I agree. That first album rules. We saw them opening for like everybody too when that album came out. And the Bronx from Los Angeles, if I remember.
Yep.
Yeah, that first album's rule. I've not heard this. I dig the album art though. It's cool.
Yeah, me too. I'll have to check it out.
It reminds me of my mug with same style. Well, I got a gorilla though.
There's a Taking Back Sunday record that looks similar to this.
It reminds me of like an Asian takeout food, like the little white things the rice goes in. This would look awesome on one of those.
We should move on before one of us starts doing a funny voice, unless Dylan has something to chime in.
It's better than that sounds better than the Menzingers.
There we go. High praise.
The Bronx better than the Menzingers. Let's move on.
That's definitely true.
Okay, so this is so honestly, John, I feel like you should re-listen to this record because I feel like it's not that far off from their first two records. I listened to it after we did the first reaction because I remember being like it's like my third favorite. I think it's like really good. I have to see what you dislike about it.
No, Proper Dose is the one I don't like.
Yeah, but you said this one is
it's meh. I think this is not as good as Soil and Dirt.
I agree, but I think it's pretty close. There's a lot of great songs.
But for me, it's What You Don't See, Soil and Dirt, and then this. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Also, probably my favorite album cover here so far.
It's badass. Yeah,
badass album cover. I don't know if you guys have any opinion on the story so far, Lewis.
Listened to a little bit after you talked about them. I think in your the top 10 girlfriend one, was that one you mentioned? Them?
Yes.
I mean, they're okay. I mean, not for me really, but they sound passable. Definitely an era of music that I wasn't part of. Sorry, like what do you want me to say? I don't fucking.
Fine.
They're the best fucking band I ever heard. It's no wonder.
It's just funny. It's just funny. We're just like it's passable. I just thought it's like story so far passable out of 10.
I agree. I always thought they're overrated too. Like I don't picture them one of the best pop punk bands. Like it's just like Purplish Rain's list was very much like the pop punk I grew up with, and then like all this stuff I consider it newer. But like I never had an attachment to any of these newer bands.
Well,
like,
I did because that was like right at the end of high school when all these bands were blowing up. So
yeah,
this album came out in like 2015, right? Like or something.
But Under Soil.
This is like when I was getting crushed in the workforce. So like, why the fuck would I want to listen to something positive like this? Like,
well, look, it's not. This one is not
positive.
That positive.
Yeah,
it's not. Okay, I don't know. I have no.
You might like
heard
this
the
one.
album, so
yeah.
But is it still pop punk with like? Is there like emotional?
It's a little grungier. I think this one is a little grungier. So just a little bit. It's a little. There's some more mid-tempo stuff in here, but I think that it's really good. So
I'll tell you what. The story so far is I don't like it. So Dylan, what do you got to say?
Kidding. Okay.
Go ahead. Overrated band.
The anecdote about getting crushed in the workforce and all that stuff. Listening to Rock the 40 Ounce.
Yeah, right.
That's about right. Probably that's all I can go to. Feel like negative.
I don't know. I haven't listened to the album. I scanned through the songs now, and they all sound like mid-tempo. Like I don't know. I'm not a story so far enjoyer. So
listen to Heavy Gloom, Lewis or Dylan, in the full context of it. I think it's a great song.
I live in a heavy gloom, Elliot. All right, let's move on from this album.
I thought you could relate, so yeah, let's move to the next one.
I'm just
so this is interesting. This is Sprainard Mabel, which I almost put on for record of the week one time. This is an Epitaph release from 2015. And it's I think John, you'd actually like this a lot. Listen to just the very first track. I think you'd be all about this album.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
You've heard this before? I think it's pretty solid. A top 10 is definitely questionable for me, but I think it's a very solid record. There is a song that's like 5 minutes long on here that's slower that I just get nothing out of. It really brings the album down a little bit, but it's not bad. So the first, I would say the first half into towards the end is super solid though.
Yeah, would you say like this is kind of like Banner Pilot Light?
Yes, yeah, it's Banner Pilot Light. It's like Banner Pilot with a little bit more of like the emo, like the Midwest emo flavor.
I think this is mediocre. It's like I feel similar to this as I do like I don't want to say Menzinger since I said I don't like it, but it's like a step above that, but it's still in the same vein for me.
I think it's a solid record. Top 10 is like pretty crazy though, I would say overall, but we'll get
these guys were very these guys were big with the punk news commenters in the early 2010s.
I'm sure.
I checked out the album with the cat on the front of it, the guy with the cat. And I wasn't very inspired, so I didn't even know that they released anything after that, to be honest with you. Yeah. What I'm hearing now, it sounds better than that record.
Yeah.
But yeah, somewhere between like a Midwest punk band like Banner Pilot and the Menzingers, I would say.
Yeah, this list has a serious theme.
There were a lot of bands that sounded like this in the early 2010s, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is top 10 2010s punk records, but it seems to be mostly kind of pop punk and orgcore Midwest punk related stuff. So, which I like.
I never heard this. I just listened to I was just scanning a few tracks while you guys were talking. It sounds okay. 10 out of 10 dog, though.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, I like the dog.
They got an album with a cat on the cover and a dog.
So
I saw, that gives me bonus points. Yeah, I like equal opportunity animal lovers.
The whole animal kingdom represented by Spraynard.
Yep, Noah's Ark in one album. All right, let's go to the next one here.
Okay.
So nice. Now we're at Banner Pilot. So speaking of them, this is not my favorite Banner Pilot record, but I think it's pretty damn close. I think it's a great record. It's interesting he picked this one. So there is some like they do a little bit more of like. I think some like 5-minute songs on here almost. I think Letterbox is like a pretty long song. Maybe not that long, but there's some great tracks in here. Fireproof, Modern Shakes. Yeah. So I think it's a great record. So what do you think, John or Dylan?
Yeah, one of that. I've been I know they actually have heard this one. So
yeah.
When this, I could be misremembering. I think people weren't like super into this album when it came out, but I think now that it's been 10 years and they haven't released anything new, people have come around to this album a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's a good record, but they set the bar so high with
Art Speed.
The 3 albums before this that it's kind of hard. But I mean, they're a great band. And I don't think they have a single bad record, so this wouldn't be my go-to Banner Pilot album, but it's there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
I agree. I'm a casual Banner Pilot fan, but I think they're a good band. This one is probably the one I spent the least time with, but they're good. So no qualms. I probably would have been Heartbeat specific, I think.
Yeah,
but
we
need a new Banner Pilot record. Yeah, make it happen, Fat Mike.
This is probably my least favorite Banner Pilot album, but I still like it. So I don't know.
Pass the Poison.
I mean, like, Pass the Poison's an EP, right?
I guess so. So like Resignation Day better.
I like Resignation Day better than this one. Yeah. But out of his album so far, this is my favorite. Of the list. Right. But it looks like
my favorite.
I think so. I think so too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But that's gonna change for me. Because this is definitely my favorite of the list so far. And I'm like the lone copyrights lover, I think, of the 4 of us. I think everybody else tolerates them. This is not my...
I like the copyrights.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, this is not my favorite copyrights. Yeah, I did ask you. We're going to do the tier list one of these days.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But this is a great record. I think this has Crutches on it.
It's the Passport songs on here too. It's really fucking good.
Worn Out Passport, yeah.
Worn Out Passport. Yeah.
I think Bow Down maybe is on here. I don't know. I love the copyrights. I love this album. So it's a thumbs up for me.
Yeah. See here. Hardwired. Great song in here too. Worn Out Passport. Restless Head. There's a lot of good tracks in here. It's a lot more of a mid-tempo copyrights album. This was on Record of the Week, so I listened to this one. I wasn't super familiar with, and I really liked it. It's like a concept album too. There's like these like news report clippings in the beginning about North Sentinel Island, and it feels like you're about to go on like a real concept record journey with this one. So I think it's really cool. Also, I love the album cover too. Have you guys listened to this one, North Sentinel Island?
I couldn't tell. I've heard the copyrights a couple times, so I gotta just be honest. Like the 2010s, I gotta be honest, are probably the period of music where I was just mostly checked out, and I have to I am playing so much catch up because like I made that joke earlier, like Dylan Tickle Dylan. There is like I was like that's like, when I was starting and working and just like getting crushed. And anytime I wanted to relax music, it was usually with something that I was comfortable, familiar with. Or if a band that I was already familiar with put out something, that was the only thing I had time to like really participate in. So just to give you context of like why I don't have a lot of feelings about these bands.
Oh, but no, it's fine.
The copyrights are cool. I mean, I don't love them or anything, but I'm sure this album's good. So whatever.
I feel like there's also records that you would put on here that like you would have 2010 records ready to go. Maybe like Hang by Lagwagon or like one of the newer.
Oh yeah, I love
records.
That one. Yeah.
I feel like those would reach my
Stella Sapiente.
Some of the ones up here. Yeah, Stella Sapiente.
Oh yeah, Stella Sapiente is amazing. Hang. Yeah. Like I think there are 2010 records, but I was just kind of hanging in like what's the familiar.
Yeah,
it's just like you lose track. There's so many fucking bands. Like I don't know how you guys. I don't know how John stayed on top of it. Like much respect. It's really hard.
Sleep deprivation and Also, no Flatliners yet. So we're talking 2010s. I feel like the Flatliners have
that one would have been in mine
records too. That were too. But Dylan.
Oh, but Dylan, that was my diatribe. What do you have on my little spiel here? What do you got on this one?
I feel like Connor was an avid reader of punk news. I keep going back to punk news, but like this is all the bands that were popular and the records that were popular on punk news in this time period. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Copyrights are an incredibly boring band.
No way.
This record is like audible Benadryl to me.
No way. That's crazy.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just so like
it has a great vibe, dude. It's like I don't know. It's a great vibe.
The Copyrights are so much better than Screeching Weasel. Honestly,
okay, you're high.
Honestly, they're so much better than Screeching Weasel.
No, John.
it's just so like flat sounding. I don't get it, man. I'm sorry.
No, the melodies are so good on this.
Call them Flaccid Weasel.
They're so much better than Screeching Weasel.
Also, I wouldn't even compare him to Screeching Weasel. I think it's way different. It's different.
They copy the little guitar leads and stuff.
It's like a little bit of Ramones core mixed with Midwest punk, though. If this was full on Ramones core, I wouldn't even be listening to it.
Yeah.
So,
no, I like it.
No, if I had to pick one, I would have listened to Make Sound if you held a gun to my head and told me to listen to a Copyrights record.
Make a Sound is incredible.
And Learn the Hard Way. Yeah, this is.
And Report, I think I'd probably put over this one as well. I
would take this over Report.
You think it's over Report? Okay.
Yeah.
I have to listen to Report again then. It's good.
I love this album. This is a great pick.
Let's go to the next one though. We've argued about the copyrights enough. Now this one is a strange one.
Yeah, this is very strange.
I know it's 2010s, so I actually really never listened to this. So I listened to a few songs before we started, and I don't know. It wasn't that bad, to be honest, but I don't know. I have to give it a full listen. So, but if I'm thinking 2010s, this one's pretty crazy to me.
This is like every Offspring album post 2000 where it's got like 4 good songs. This carries that same.
Well, were the good songs the first 2 on the album?
Yeah,
that's all I listened to.
And the redone version of Dirty Magic, people shit on it, but I think it sounds way better. But there's a couple really good songs on here. Like I would say there's 4 good songs on here, including the Dirty Magic redo.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
one thing that the Offspring were the masters, and they still are, I think, of like old major label record. Just like make 1 or 2 or 3 good songs and then just sell the rest of the shit with the album. I mean, I know like, I don't want to be too harsh. I know there really are good Offspring records, but 100% agree with you. This was not one of those warm, fuzzy ones that I listened to in the 2010s to feel good about. So, yeah, bummer.
Yeah, I was just not listening to the Offspring in the 2010s at all. So I never listened to this really. But yeah, sorry, Dylan, go ahead.
Cruising California, OC Guns, and to a lesser extent, Secret Family. 3 joke songs there, in very tightly spaced here on the album. It's every other song is a joke song there. Days Go By, the Foo Fighters rip-off song that was the lead single that I think put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths leading up to this. The good songs, The Future Is Now, Secrets from the Underground.
The first 2.
Dividing by Zero and Slim Pickens. And Hurting As One is okay, but I don't know. 3/4 of the record is just either filler or like straight up intentional dog shit.
All right. Well,
I agree with everything Dylan said. Yeah.
I have no opinion. I've never listened to it. I'll give it a listen. I don't want to. I've liked every other record Connors has put on here to some extent.
The first 2 songs are really good. And if
I listened to the first 2, and
if you like the Foo Fighters, then the first 3. I like the Foo Fighters, so I like the first 3 and Dirty Magic.
Yeah, Future Is Now was legitimately like a really good song when I listened to it. I was like, okay.
I will say I appreciate how shameless the Offspring are in padding out the track lists on these later albums.
They don't care. It's amazing.
No, you have a re-recording of a old song on every one of these records. There's a re-recorded version of an old song, and then there's a bunch of joke songs, and the rest is like pretty good. But they're just shameless. Like, you have 12 songs and like 5 of them are just like they didn't even fucking try.
Well, I've never been an Offspring fan, so I can't really say. I mean, like the 90s, like Smash was good.
They could have released like 3 really good EPs instead of 3 like mediocre albums.
Smash is just okay. Like it's good. It's okay. I think the Offspring are the perfect. I like the Offspring, but they are the example of you make one really big song one time, and then you're just famous forever, just churning out bullshit. And once in a while, you hit gold again. This album being a good example of it. But let's move on. We're shitting on the Offspring a lot. So.
Is this number 1? No.
We had 2 more. This is number 2 now.
Yeah. I mean, this is.
We all talked about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about it. This is the best Banner Pilot record. Yeah, I have no problem with this being here at all. So, I mean, we don't really have to say much more. We already talked about it. So.
Yeah, this would be on my top 10 of 2010s also.
Yeah, easily.
I had this on my iPod. I listened to it like 3 times a day for like 3 years.
It's so good. It's so good. It just hits. I don't know why it hits like it does, but there's something so special about this record for real. It just hits right.
So I agree with Connor's albums that have keys on the cover. He's batting 1,000.
Yeah, we love the key covers. More key covers, Connor. Less apparently the Midspringers and Offspring.
Less old men on benches in the woods.
If there's another Offspring album, this is gonna be an hour-long episode. So hopefully,
I don't know what happened to that kid. Let's move on.
This is number 1.
Oh my God,
that's crazy.
Weird. 2010s though. 2010s.
2010. We're talking 20. And honestly, for a Pennywise, I think this is a pretty solid Pennywise record. Yeah, I like it. So I know Dylan does not like it. He's talked about how much he hates the song Revolution multiple
lyrics,
3 times. He hates the lyrics of Revolution.
Like, whoa, we want a revolution.
I mean, it's Zoli. Zoli.
The melody's great.
I mean, for what Zoli had to do, he's like, you need to write a Pennywise album. With the lyrics he put down, I think he knocked it out of the park.
I don't know how much of this he wrote.
And he goes, well, who knows?
This doesn't seem like in line with the Ignite lyrics. I think Fletcher wrote a bunch of the songs.
I mean, that might be true.
Maybe, yeah.
But I mean, I think it's a fun record to put on. Like, I
like it too.
Songs off this one. Yeah, I think it's a fun record.
It's the best sounding Pennywise album, I think.
It is.
Sonically, it sounds amazing.
Really good on it. It's definitely that.
If you go from Reason to Believe production to this, it's like night and day.
Yeah, it sounded really good. So I remember buying this. I forget where it was, but I even said to the person when I was buying it, I can't wait to listen to another record that sounds exactly like the last record. I remember saying that,
Sounds
and I put
nothing like it.
yeah. Then I put it on, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually like really fucking good." Actually,
Yeah.
I was expecting just like a mediocre Pennywise record, and I was pretty impressed when I first heard it.
I want to say I was a lot more receptive to. I don't think anyone really hated on Zoli being in the band, but obviously everyone was like, "Oh, we want Jim back" and all that. Zoli is a infinitely more capable singer than Jim Lindberg. But it's like Skiba and Blink, Zoli and Pennywise, same thing. Like I don't feel like they played to his strengths as a singer. They kind of tried to make him fit the mold, like be Jim.
Sure.
And Zoli's whole thing is like his crazy vocal range and stuff. And there's some of that on here, but not nearly to the extent that his voice is used in Ignite. I feel like if they gave him more like artistic liberty, this would have been a better album. Just because he's a great singer and a great lyricist too. So I don't know. It's not a bad album. It would not be in my top 10. But it's a completely serviceable Pennywise album. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Well, yeah, Revolution confirmed lyrical masterpiece by Dylan.
No, that song is ass.
I just don't know why this record exists, to be honest. Like, at least no, it's a good record. I think it's pretty good, but I don't know why it exists under the Pennywise name. I mean, it just seems like a stupid thing. And I
don't know. It sounds like a Pennywise record to me. So I know it's
not really. It doesn't sound like it to me at all. I'll be honest.
Really?
Like,
I thought it sounded relatively close to something.
I mean, like I think the cleanliness of the sound and stuff too really separates it out. Like it sounds way different than the previous records. And I mean, I think to Dylan's point, and I think it's a good one, is like, in this regard, like the sum of the parts is the whole was not great in any way, shape, or form, because you have Pennywise for like the masters of the straightforward, like a straightforward skate punk, I don't know what you want to say, borderline hardcore punk sound. You got Zoli, who's an amazing singer, and they just get together. It's just so jarring to me, even if it's like serviceable. And then I agree with the Blink Skiba comparison. I mean, you got two guys who are just two things that are just you blend them together, you think you're gonna get this great thing, but it just doesn't work. This album certainly has some good songs on it. I think it sounds reductive, and like you think it could be reductive in Pennywise lyrics, and this album figured out a way to do it. Like it because it took those lyrics and then it added a mass-produced sound to it that makes it so strange. Even if I like the record, I don't know how to say it otherwise. Like the cleanliness of the record with the banality of the lyrics, it's just so weird. It's a weird record. It's the Pennywise record I go back to listen to the least. I find it shocking that a lot of these songs are in the top played for Pennywise as well. But like I said, not a bad record overall. Certainly not a top tier Pennywise record for me. Sorry, I went on a rant.
I just want to say the two best songs are not on the record. Locked In. It's probably the best song, and it was like a Japanese bonus track or something. And We Are the Fallen is also very good.
Yeah, check those out.
Locked In should have been on the record. It's on Spotify.
I heard those.
No, Locked In is by far the best song.
Why don't they why did they continue under the Pennywise name, John? I mean, like, do you have a feeling like that too? Like,
Money, yeah.
No, it's the money, but it doesn't even sound like the same band to me. Like, maybe I'm wrong.
Think about the other where Jim broke off. He did Wraths, right? And nobody bought it. Nobody cared.
The Black Pacific.
Nobody bought it. Nobody cared, really. I mean, it's decent, but like they knew like Pennywise without Jim, it's gonna. Like they're gonna sell 100 copies on colored vinyl, and everyone's gonna forget about it.
What about Fletcher's band, Chaos Delivery Machine?
Exactly, made my point for me. But
all right. Let's wrap it up here. I
just want to say, it's like I sound negative because I do like this record and I did enjoy it when it came out, but I think the point being is like if this is like. This should not be anyone's favorite Pennywise record. I'm sorry, Connor. You should go listen
it's out of the 2010s. There's only two, right?
There's 2010s.
Yeah. There's Never Gonna Die, and this one, right?
Yeah, it's definitely yeah. No, there's these yesterdays or whatever it's called.
Oh, I mean, but that's a compilation.
Is that a compilation?
We're Gonna Die
Old
was in the
songs.
2010s.
I never looked.
Yeah, I would take Never Gonna Die over this personally.
I think this is better.
Yeah, I think All or Nothing's better as well. So
I don't think this sounds too far detached from. I think this passes as a Pennywise album.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I feel like it's not like this crazy jarring.
No, it's not a massive departure or anything.
It's not a massive departure. It sounds pretty close to just what Pennywise was doing.
It sounds to me.
Land of the Free is not that far off from the sound of this. I mean,
this sounds to me like the MySpace one. I just said what it was called. I don't remember now.
Reason to Believe.
Yeah, it sounds to me. I can hear it just sounds better sonically, but it's very similar style.
It does sound like that album. You're right. So that one. Yeah, but that one is a black sheep as well.
Yeah,
maybe your ears were popped when you listened to it, Liz. But no, I'm kidding. Let's wrap this up. Let's give a final score to Connor's list here. We roasted Pennywise, we roasted the Offspring, we roasted the Menzingers. So a lot of roasting going on. But I thought for the 2010s, it was, for me personally, it was relatively solid. I like the Menzingers, like both those records, like both those Banner Pilot records, I like the Stories to Far records. Sprainier, it's all right. It's pretty decent. Offspring, never heard it. This Pennywise record wouldn't be in my top 10, but it was decent. So I'd give this, like, I don't know. I'll do 7.5 out of 10. Thought it was decent for my taste. So missing stuff I would put on. But
I should have done this with the last one with Purplish Rain. I gave him a 10. It should have been a 9. I'm just gonna go by how many I agree with out of 10, since there's 10 songs or 10 albums. Like,
it's gonna hurt Connor.
Yeah, the first two are Menzingers, so I've given 0. The Bronx, I'm not gonna give a point for Bronx or Story So Far or Spainard. I give 1 for Souvenir. I'll give him 2 points for North Sentinel Island. I'll go against my thing, but we'll make up 1. I'll give a half point for The Offspring, full point for Heartbeat Specific, and I'll give a half point for All or Nothing. So I'll give him a 5. If I was mathing correctly, 5 out of 10.
That's actually generous from John. So
yeah, 5 out of 10.
That's pretty good.
It started really rough.
So
3.5.
3.5.
I mean,
all right.
Yeah, Batter Pilot and Pennywise, maybe. That Offspring album sucks. And the other stuff I don't like. I don't know. Did you tell people we're going to like their records? Because, like, I don't know why I would tell you.
No.
I don't know why internet guys to just shit all over my records. But yeah, 3 out of 5 out of 10.
I said we're reacting to your records. That's all it was. That's all it is. All right? We're reacting to
you got what you asked for.
Yeah, that's what you get. So, I mean, Lewis is, a big jerk, so... But
I'm sick. Leave me alone.
It's all right. Dylan, out of 10 here. Oh, what do you got going on?
I'm gonna go with. So he had 2 Banner Pilot records.
Yes.
This Pennywise record is fine. I don't want. I'm gonna do 4 out of 10.
All right. So,
Connor, you should have been reading Dying Scene in the 2010s. We were all about skate punk. Fucking whatever obscure European skate punk band I could get my hands on. I was blasting the fuck out of that. And that's what I think of when I think 2010s punk is obscure European skate punk bands.
All right. Well,
not the Menzingers and all this Midwest stuff. This is a very Midwestern centric list here. There's like 5 out of the 10 albums, 6 out of the 10 albums.
I love it. I think it's a great list, Connor. So good.
Yeah, Connor lives in some flyover.
So Seattle, Washington is a great state to live, Connor. I think he's actually from Australia. I'm pretty positive. So,
yeah. He's the Australian guy. Where's the Australian bands, Connor? What the fuck?
Yeah, no Frenzel.
Where's local resident failure? Yeah, where's local resident failure?
No Smoke.
What's going on? I would pick a local resident failure album over any Menzingers album.
Me too.
No, absolutely.
Still kicking on as a banger.
I don't dislike local resident failure. Menzinger's much better. But let's wrap this up. We gotta get out of here. So
35 minutes.
no offense. We really enjoy you. He's always commenting on the video.
Yeah, I love Connor.
Yeah, Connor's great. So sorry you got your records roasted here, but this is you put them out there. So good on you for getting a list together and putting them on here for us to roast. I liked it. So me and you are good buddies right now. But
it's all in good fun.
Yeah.
It's all
Connor, we love you. I wouldn't want to be the passenger in your car while you're driving.
That's a great way to put it.
It's because Australians can't drive?
No, it's because
I'm kidding.
Okay, I thought I really had to explain.
I wouldn't want to ride your kangaroo with you, Connor.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We'll wrap it up here. Guys, if you want us to
bye.
rank your list, there's a Discord link down below. You can tag Elliot. It's probably your best bet. If you want to support the channel, there's a limited run store, lots of vinyl, including this one, which just came in, Uphill Struggle, some Northern European skate punk, lots of other stuff on there. So if you want to check it out, you can do so. Make sure you're subscribed, thumbs up, all that stuff helps other people find the channel. And yeah, we'll see you guys all next time.
Peace, mate.